go to the class, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
So we can start, Prabhu.
Yes, thank you so much, Prabhuji, with your blessing. Mercy. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I would like to share some PPT. Prabhuji. Prabhu, you can see now, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhu.
Hare.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So all glories to the listen, the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Please hear the description of the dancing and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at the Ratha Yatra festival. His dancing is very enchanting. Please hear of it the great and attention by the Guru and Gauranga. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Sri Gurudev Maharaj, all the pure Vaishnavas. Please accept my humble obeisances to all our Prabhujis, Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Dandavata Pranam to your lotus feet. Whatever we are going to take this in this class, only for the purification of myself, to getting to the advancement of in the devotional service and the preaching of the Srila Prabhupada mission. So please to bless me and give your mercy. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. First of all, I do pray to the Siksha Guru, to His Grace, Sangeetananda Gauradas Prabhu and Rasnath Gopal Das Prabhu, and from the Shyam Chandra Lila Das Prabhuji. From there, the mercy today in the front of you, all of them. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity to Ramananda Kannaya Prabhu and Prabhuji, all of with us. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Today we will go to the Madhya Lila, chapter 14, the performance of the Vṛndāvana Pastimes. So today we will go to the 14.46 to 14.64. This is the one lesson. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vṛnda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vṛnda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vṛnda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vṛnda. All glories to Lord Chaitanya, all glories to Lord Nityananda, all glories to Advaita Chandra, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Hare Krishna. Today this one, actually in the 14th chapter, 1 to 22, the Lord Chaitanya has the mercy upon the King Prataputra. And 23 to 46 verses, the Lord Chaitanya accepted prasada with his devotees. Today we will continue on this one chapter. 47 to 64, the Lord Chaitanya pushes the Jagannath Radha to Gundicha temple. This is the verses today we are going to sing this one. Hare Krishna. So we know that one, the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Pastimes. So Adi Lila, 24 years remained at home, and Shesha Lila, 24 years after the acting to the sannyasa. So in the sannyasa Lila, it is the two verse, it came that one from the Madhya Lila, the 6 years, they traveled to all over India, from Puri to Bengal, and they kept coming to Vṛndāvana. And another the chapter of this one, Antya Lila, last 18 years remained at Puri. From there, the two divisions is that 6 years is spent with many devotees, established the Prema Bhakti. The last 12 years, the devoted to the releasing the pastimes of Krishna in separation. This is the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is the verses we are going to see this one. So we go to the verses. Today we see the 14.46. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gurudev ki jai. Nitya Gaura Pramananda. Hari Hari Bol. Hari Bolo Bale Ganga Gala Preme Bashi Ya 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 Achana Atbuda Lila Kare Gaura Raya. The translation given by His Holiness Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev ki jai, Nitya Gaura Pramanand, Hari Hari Bol. As soon as the beggars chanted the holy name Hari Bol, they were immediately absorbed in the ecstatic love of God. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed the wonderful pastimes. So what this in these verses, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that when the beggar chanted Haribol, so they become absorbed in the ecstatic love of God. So very important point of here, the holy name, how immediately purified their heart. So here in this the holy name is the powerful than even unconsciousness or indirect chanting that destroy the sins. So this is the one of the example of in this verse. So even one utterance of the holy name can free from a person from the bondage if not done the offensively. So here one more verse in this verse, Srimad Bhagavatam is telling about this and the holy names. The Srimad Bhagavatam 6.2.14 in the verse, the Vishnu Sudas explaining the chanting the Lord, the names, neutralizes the sinful reaction accumulated over many lifetimes. So Srila Prabhupada mentioning in the purport about this one, the holy name is none of different from the Lord. Therefore, the chanting even once has the spiritual potency beyond our ordinary religious rituals. So the holy name is the non-different from the Lord. So wherever who are telling, that is the get the purifications. Same in the 6th canto, in the 2nd chapter, 9 to 10, just telling the Bhagavatam, even if someone the chant jokingly or negligently or indirectly, the holy name still act. So Srila Prabhupada mentioning in the purport verse, the holy name works in any condition. So any condition means there is no any condition based on the holy names. So any condition it will be worked out. So however that the pure of chanting without offenses is given the highest result, the love of God. If we are doing to the chanting without any offenses, it is given the result love of God. That is the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was present to for us. The simply by the chanting the name, the Krishna is one becomes the liberated and attains the supreme destination. So whoever we are doing the chanting regularly, the Krishna names, so definitely they will to liberated. So Srila Prabhupada always oftenly saying that the one pure name of Krishna can give the liberation. So all the mainly the Srila Prabhupada emphasizes this one, who telling the Krishna, definitely they will get the liberation. So but devotees chant is continuously to attain the pure of love. So that the different of that devotees who are doing the constantly chanting the name of Hare Krishna mantra, it is coming to the pure of love, the prema, not just for liberation. That is the different of this one. So even the one chanting the holy names, Hari, 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 now we see in the verses, Hari Bol, Hari, Hari, it's give to the liberation. Who the beggar of this person also, you get it. For example, in the Bhagavad Gita 3.13, the mention of the Bhagavan, that devotees of the Lord who released from the all kinds of sins because they eat food which is the offered the first for the sacrifice. Others who prepare the food for the personal senses of enjoyment. So finally, the Lord himself is telling in the 18.66, the abounded all varieties of the religion, and just to surrender to me, I shall to deliver you from all the sinful reaction. Do not fear. So how it will come out? Because of the holy name, how much we are doing to the holy name constantly without offense, so that we are getting the prema, the love of God. So once we are get the love of God, so Lord will be take over the all the sinful action, reaction will be take out. So that is the things as of verses, understanding this one. Now the verse text number 47. Aina Jaganadara Rate Kaila Nama Samayaya Gauda Saba Ratatene Yajinaya Yaya. The translation. Outside of the garden, when it was the time of Ratha is the car, all the workers called the Gaudas that tried to pull it, but it not move forward. So who's this Gaudas? Who that in the chariot, that is the service of taken the chariot, no? They're pulling the people, they called of the Gaudas. That is their services. So that is the one here mentioning that verses. So the service, whatever is getting from our Jagannath, we will get in the purification. So here, when this after this they are taking the prasadam after that, so it is the food offered to Lord. So offered the Lord after that, there is more mercy to getting. So accepting that purification our mind into the consciousness. So here the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always emphasized to the in the never considers the material. It is not in the material. So material, it is the different of the part of one. So that is the one here in the verses it is telling. Now we go to the text number 48. Tane tene pare gauda radha chadi tila patra mitra lana raja vyakara hana haila. Translation. When the Gaudas saw that they could not budge the car, they abandoned the attempt. Then the king arrived in the great anxiety of the, and he was accompanied of his officers and friends. So one thing we are take from the verses, very important point, the Lord moves only by his own will. Only his own will. So here the emphasis of Srila Prabhupada mentioning the Supreme Personality of God, so cannot move is by the material strength. Even though many strong men try to pull the chariot, it would not be moved. So what we are that the Lord is acting accordingly his own desires, not according to human effort. So for example, we are taken out, a machine works when the operator to desire. So similarly here, Jagannath allowed the chariot to move only when is desired. So when the Jagannath is allowed is the one we doing, then only the chariot will move. Even though there is the king of Prataputra, he is having the power, he have the manpower, everything. But the Gaudas, they are doing the service, but they are pulling the Radha, not move it. So what is the meaning of here? Srila Prabhupada mentioning is the material power cannot control the God. So cannot control the God. So many people are attempted to move the chariot, but it is the failed. They failed. So the teachers of the year in the philosophical method of the only whatever we are doing to our devotional service by the Bhakti Yoga. So even the Bhakti Yoga also that we are thinking I have the material strength and I am the material very powerful. I am very the good position. I am very intelligent persons. Like this we are thinking also cannot control the Supreme Lord. The only the devotion can attract him. That is the when the Lord is willing. So we see some more examples also. A wealthy or powerful person cannot buy devotion or spiritual realization. How it's possible? I have the lot of money, I have whatever things I can do. But in these things, Srila Prabhupada is telling very nicely, wealthy person, powerful person also cannot buy the devotion or the spiritual realization. So how it is come? From here we will see that the humility of the king Prataputra, when the charity would not move, the king Prataputra became a anesthesia. He was getting the fear. So even though he was the king, but he felt is responsible for the Lord is the festival, because he is the one that doing. So that Lord charity is not moving. So what to do? So he is the take the responsible. He immediately he called the leaders and all his officers to discuss what to do. So that's actually here they come to the one point of mentioning the real leader who doing the devotional culture, they have feel from the humble, serve from the Lord, worries about the proper of service. So one the point of here examples we telling, a temple the president or leader must ensure that Krishna is the service of properly performed, just like the king worried about the Jagannath festival. So the Lord sometimes the create of different difficulties. Why? Because of the pastimes. So here the Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in the comments, the creators are obstacles to the increases the devotion, and the revival is the pastime, the Lord. So the chariot of the stopping was not accidental. The chariot stopped, it is not accidental. It was the part of the divine pastime for the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Without the Mahaprabhu mercy, it will not happening anything, because he is the Supreme Lord. So the soon after the Mahaprabhu himself, the pushes the charity and moves easily. So the teaching about this shown the Lord the response of the only the pure devotions. When the pure devotion is the act, so we will get and the devotion stronger. Then we will get the physical strength. So here this letter of the pastimes, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gently pushes the chariot with his head. The chariot moves immediately. So very, very important of the matter here. So what is the spiritual power is the greater than the material power. So what we are to in this verses we taken the importance of some points. Srila Prabhupada is telling the Lord moves only his own will. So the material strength cannot be controlled the God. Whatever we do, I am the wealthy, I am the king of person, each everything, all I do that one. So it is not at all possibility, because only the Lord, only the controlling. So in the king of Prataputra is showing his humility in the service. So the Lord sometimes the create of difficulty because of the pastimes. He is want to enjoy is the pastimes. So here the pure devotion is showing the strength than the physical power. So now we go to the verses to 49th verses. Mahapala ganatile radha chailate apana lakila rata na paratanate. Translation: the king then arranged for the big wrestlers to try to pull the car, and even the king himself joined in, but the car could not move. So what were the previous verses we had discussion, same here also, the material strength cannot move the Lord. So the king arranged very strong wrestlers people, very full very full body, very strong people. He pulled the chariot, but still it did not move. So what is the here showing that one? So that is in the earlier verses this shows that one Supreme Lord cannot be controlled by the material power. So no matter how long your time the strong and physically, God moves only his own willing. So we are in this also we are take some example. The powerful mission is that. The powerful mission is there, many they are looking very strong, but it cannot run without electricity power. Correct? So with power only the machine is running. Without the power, how the machine running? Because we can see the power. Sorry, we can see that in the mission of appearance, very big machine. Everything is correct, but without electricity, it will not work. Similarly, in the whole universe, the moves only by the will of Krishna. Without the Krishna mercy, in the Prapancham will not move it. So here the king is helpless mode, because the king is brought out of his own power. He brought out the people and all other things. But the king himself, he came and pulled the ratha. So even the powerful, the ruler of the like a King Prataputra cannot move the car. So here the main principle of we take over this point of whatever I am the political power, I am the very wealth and physical strength, everything it is you have, but no value in front of the Lord. No value in front of the Lord, in Supreme Personality of Lord. So here that is a very, very important of the point. The example Srila Prabhupada mentioning, many wealthy or influential the people may try to control the situation, but the spiritual success depend on the devotion, not on the position. King want to show is what's brought out to all the people, but unable to move. Why? Because of the spiritual of success, only the devotion, not in the position. So Lord act accordingly his own desire, accordingly own desire. So in the chariot stopping, it's not an accidental. It's not an accidental. So according to the Srila Prabhupada is telling, Jagannath wanted to show the special pastimes. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would push the charity and could move easily. So the Lord sometimes arranging the situation to demonstrate is the divine power and the glorification of the devotee. So here so devotion is the stronger than the strength. So later than the pastime, when the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu touches the chariot, it moves immediately. So what this is getting in the spiritual power means it is the bhakti. The spiritual power is the bhakti, is the stronger than material power. So small example like also we can take it. The small child offering the flower. The small child offering the flower with a devotion, they may please the Krishna more than the wealthy person. Offering many things without the teaching the point, this one. Nothing. So small child, you have the fulfill of is the devotion, the mood, the love of mood to flowers offering, the Lord is accepting. But without devotion, without this one, you are offering many things, you are show your power, but God will not accept it. So that is the verses that's in the Srila Prabhupada mentioning some of the points. I like the material strength cannot the control. The Supreme Lord is the controller. Even the powerful of the king in the Prataputra, but helpless in front of the God. The Lord act accordingly his own divine will. His own divine will. So the pure devotion then always there can come in. So here the pastimes of that one that teaches Krishna cannot to reach it by the strength, wealth or the power, only by the devotion. As shown the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is shown in this verses. Later on the moves the chariot effortlessly. Now we go to the text number 50. Brahana Raja Matahati Gana Rate Kalete Rate Kairaha Yoganana. The become even more anastic the move the car. The king had very strong elephant brought out the front, the fourth of the on the arsenal do it to hit. So what is the here Prataputra? He is the before believed the very powerful peoples. they can able to move their chariot, but it could failure. Again, the Prataputra want to bring it, the elephants, to pull the elephant, the chariot should move it. So here, whatever that the powerful of elephant also, which were the consider the strengthened the force to at the time, but chariot still not move. So Srila Prabhupada mentioning in this all the demonstration what's happening here, Srila Prabhupada very nicely telling the Supreme Lord cannot move by the material arrangement. If I am arrangement all the material things, but it could not work. For example, we take that very strong man, royal power, huge elephant, all the things is there, but Jagannath, he not move it. So the God cannot control the material strength then. So it is a very, very important point for Srila Prabhupada mentioning material strength cannot control in the universe. So how it is one, whatever you are increasing material effort, so does not solve the spiritual problems. Spiritual problems cannot solve the material things. So here, the stronger the solution, how to do, the devotee try to pull. So the restless people tried it. The elephant also brought it. Still nothing worked out. So main thing in our life, the spiritual life, increase the material effort does not guarantee of the success. Does not guarantee of the success. The real success comes from our devotion to surrender mood. The surrender mood. The Lord reveals his pastime very nicely. According to Srila Prabhupada mentioning, any situation, the condition of the situation, so is the divine pastimes. The Lord, every moment, every time, every second is showing that is the divine pastimes. The latter on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would push the charity, it is more needed. So it's moved nicely, easily. So Bhagavan is the created the difficulty. Bhagavan created the difficulties to reveal the glory of his devotee. His glories of his devotee. So even in the king Prataputra become a very fear because he wanted the festival proceed properly. His mood was there. But very sincerely the devote feel responsible to consider about the Lord service. So should the Lord service. So in the spiritual, in the necessity is the spiritual, not in the material. So for example, here our devotees also, we are doing the temple, the devotees, the deity worship is the late, the festival arrangement or not proper. This is the service attitude. It's a call of the seva bhava. Whatever we getting the service also from this our chakras and whatever from the temples, it is bringing to the seva bhava mood. So teaching here this one, the summarize of this one very important. So material strength unable to anything, the only willing to Supreme Lord. So increasing the material effort, that it will not solve the spiritual situation. The Lord sometimes arranging obstacles. The revival is the pastimes. The sincere devotee in loving to do this service. The loving do this service. So he have taken these verses, the Srila Prabhupada is telling, the strong elephant could not move the charity of Jagannath, but later the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu moved very nicely, moved very nicely. This is the teach of the central principle of Bhakti Yoga. The Supreme Lord is controlled not by the strength, not by the power, only the pure of devotions. Now we go to the text number 51. Mata asti jgana tana yara yata bala yeke pada na kaila data haila achala. Translation: the strong elephant pulled with all their strength, but still the car remained at a stand, still the same, budging in the inch. So Srila Prabhupada is telling here the Supreme Lord completely independent. Supreme Lord completely independent. Even the strength of element pulling with full of force could not move chariot. So Srila Prabhupada is telling, it's the Supreme Lord is the fully independent. It's the Savatratra, the telling of the no material force can influence us in the unless the he is himself desired. So example here, we can take it that one. Just the king cannot force not and against of his will. Similarly, Krishna act only according his own desire. So again I am telling these verses why it is coming the force of the Sri Mahaprabhu want to show his mercy from here in these verses. The material strength no value compared to the spiritual matter. So yeah, that's why in the material arrangement, huge element, nothing will happening. It's only the devotion of love to attract to the Lord. Attract to the Lord, only the devotion of the love only. So we can take a very things as very the any powerful people, whatever things as, but if we keep on pure love of God, pure your devotion, you keep the flowers. That's why in the Bhagavad Gita is saying, if you give some flowers or give it water or give some fruits, give your love, give to your love, not even your power of this one, the pure of love. So we will get it the things as that one. So same here, the Lord arrangement, the pastimes, we can take also one the in the Govardhana pastimes also. Krishna doing that, the Indra was made it. You want to show his power materially in the Vṛndāvana, when the one you putting the wind and rainy, so many things he created for the materially. But Lord Krishna simply he taken the Govardhana, his little finger, 7 days, he saved the devotees because the devotees are surrendered to him, to the Lord. Whatever that Indra, he come to the power, he thinking, I am the power of everything. I know I am control all the things. That before that the controller is that one more. That is the one. So this is the arrange the first time the spiritual lesson. So whatever the situation accidentally happening, but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is revealed is here. So the Mahaprabhu gently to move this chariot head for head. Then so that is the Lord actually create impossible situation also, that his devotees, the spiritual power become the visible. So impossible situation created, but his devotees, the spiritual power become the visible. So that is the year, because of the devotion greater than the material power. When the elephant, all this failed, the charity would not eventually move then, the touch with a pure devotion. So this is the spiritual power of one. So we are always, the devotional life, we are sincerely prayed to the change of heart. A humble devotee to influence the people more than powerful of leaders. That is the Srila Prabhupada emphasizing. So always the Srila Prabhupada was given this, give the message, the Supreme Lord fully of independent. The fully Lord of independent. The Lord arranges the situation, the spiritual truth to understand. The pure devotion that stronger than material power. So this is the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what showed is the show here, the pulled, the powerful of the chariot, which shown the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to move effortlessly. This one, the Krishna cannot control of the power, any material power. He became the control is the love of his devotees. Now we go to the text number 52. Suni Mahaprabhu Aila Nija Gana Lana Mata Aita Rata Jatana Deke Dana Tamna Dana. Translation: as soon as the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard the news, He went to there with his the personal associates. Then the show the stood. There is that watched the elephant. They tried the pull of car. Yeah, the Lord, the supreme controller of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although the many powerful of method, tried it, ropes, on all the things, nothing is happening. So when the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this message in the situation, he personally came to the position. So Chaitanya, Srila Prabhupada very nicely is mentioning here, Supreme Lord ultimately controller everything. Supreme Lord ultimately controller everything. So material arrangement cannot be controlled. So succeed of the Lord will. Here the Mahaprabhu and his associated, they came, stood, they watched the elephant, the pulling the chariot. So, but unable to do it. The Lord sometimes observed the situation. Before the acting, this is showing is the position, how this can happen. So allowing the pastimes to unfold, because this increases of the wonder of appreciation of is the divine power when the solution finally appears. Same like we can see the pastimes of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj is lot of time is suffered. He putting lot of trouble. So many times they killed, trying to killing to the Hiranyakashipu. But Lord, everything is watching, observing, how to tolerate the situation. So the finally it came as a Narsimha avatar to show is the power in the front of the material persons. So here this the things are this increases the wonder of appreciation of the divine power when the solution fully appears. So we are also many the spiritual pastime is the Lord showing allows the event that develop. Why? Because of the devotees can learn deeper the lessons. So main thing, the association of the devotees, the sadhu sangha, the Mahaprabhu did not come alone. The Mahaprabhu not come alone. He came along with his personal associates there. So the meaning here, Srila Prabhupada is telling, in the devotional life, association with the devotee is the essential. The spiritual activity are often the performed together, strengthening the faith of and devotion. So that's why here nowadays our temples also, all the devotees, the gathering, the morning Mangalarti, evening Sandhyarti, Gaurarti, all the Arti, assembling the devotees, what they are doing? They simply kirtan and doing the dancing and do the best festivals accordingly and do the service very peacefully. So just here Mahaprabhu came with his the devotees, because the Lord presence, the bringing the solution. Whatever we are facing the problem in our life, we cannot put ourselves to put our power, put our material effort. It will not work. Only go to the surrender to the Lord. That we will get the solutions here. So although the Mahaprabhu initially only observation is the presence, they indicated that the situation would be changed. But the Lord is the pure devotee, becomes the involved. The impossible problems can be solved. Impossible problem also can solved when the Lord is entering here. Because that is the one, afterward the Mahaprabhu himself, the pushing on the chariot and you be moving easily. So what is the, we are taking this in this verses Srila Prabhupada mentioning the supreme controller, supreme Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, ultimate controller, all of events. The Lord sometimes allowing the situation to develop, they reveal the deeper of lessons for us. The association with the devotee, always the sadhu sangha, the strength on the spiritual life. When the Lord or the pure devotee become the involved, the solution will appear naturally. That's why Srila Prabhupada is mentioning this simply. Soon, whatever the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came as devotee, simply observed. The soon, wherever, whatever, everyone would witness the powerful spiritual lessons in this verse. The Lord is not moved material strength, but it's moved by the pure devotions. Now we go to the text of 53. Anikrisere kaina asti karya chitakara rata naiha kele lokakara ahakara. Translation: the elephant being beaten by the elephant, the goat were crying, but still car could not move. This assembled the people carried out Allah saw this telling. So here one we can take the Srila Prabhupada mentioning one the main Supreme Lord cannot be forced. Even though the elephant were the pushed, the beaten, increases their effort in the chariot, but still not move. So Srila Prabhupada very nicely is telling the Supreme Lord cannot be forced by the material power or the pressure. Whatever things says, we want to do nothing because the Lord is willing. So here, no amount of force in the influence of Jagannath charity. Jagannath is willing. He does not want to wish to move. So the God only acts only his own will, not from the external force. So the material effort without divine will is the failure. And always there, the material will not the failure. So the elephant trying to with their strength, yet the chariot, but reminded that chariot still completely still the same position. So whatever the literature, this important of the principle, only we can attain to the bhakti yoga. Without the sanction of Supreme Lord, even the greatest effort may fail. For example, we can take it, the farmer maybe work hard, very nicely work hard, you do the cultivation is the harvests and everything, but the rain and growth ultimately depend on the Lord arrangement. If rain is not coming, what will do the farmers? Cannot do anything. The farmers, how we happy when the Lord ultimately is given the mercy, then we will get it. So here also, the living beings we are of the verses, in the elephant were crying due to being to the beaten, but it remains nothing's happening. So that the devotee, all are living beings, are the servant of Lord. We are all the servant of Lord, Dasa. So according to the Vedic teaching, the unnecessarily suffering should not be imposed on animals. Actually, the devotees develop for this compassion and kindness toward to the living being, the human, the helpless, before the divine power, nothing. So when the chariot did not move, despite of all efforts, the people carried out in the distance. So the moment of show, how the human was realized from their limitations. When all the material methods, whatever this failure happening, but people are being understand the supreme power is of God. Here, taken up these versions, Srila Prabhupada very nicely is given, the Supreme Lord cannot force the material power. Material effort without God's willing cannot succeed. The devotee should show compassion toward all the living beings. The human being must recognize their dependence on the Supreme Lord. So this is the verses that Srila Prabhupada very nicely emphasizing. The text number 54. Tape Mahaprabhu Sabha Asti Gunechala Nija Gana Rata Kache Tana Baritela Tila. At the time, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu let all the elephants go free and placed in the car the ropes and hands of his own man. So the devotee is the strength than the material power. The devotion is the strength that compared to the material power. So here all this failure is happened. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he removed all the elephants and everything, the robes, all the things. What he done, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just is given the robe to the devotee, is the association, the devotee. Srila Prabhupada is showing here, mentioned here very nicely, Lord is pleased not be the strengthened, but the sincere service of devotees. Sincere service of the devotees. For whatever we are offering, small offering things is also, definitely Lord Krishna will pleasing for us. That great offering, without love, nothing will happen. So the Lord, the emperor, is the devotee. Here, the showing the Mahaprabhu, he did not move the charity alone. He's not doing. The Lord is associates. World is the rope. Because the Lord is showing the is the devotee, compassion, loving. How is showing the Mahaprabhu? That is the association of that sadhu sangha. The Lord often empowers all the devotees to perform his service. Lord doing for his service, engaged is the devotees. Engaged is devotees. The showings of the spiritual relationship between Lord and the devotees. He's showing here spiritual for the relationship is the devotee and Lord. So in the spiritual life, when the devotees that sincerely serve the Lord Krishna, gives them the strength and ability to succeed. So Lord is showing his compassion. Lord is going all living entities, showing his compassion to the beings. The Mahaprabhu is the released. He is showing the path of devotion very nicely. Because whatever the true spiritual of the showing the kindness, compassionate, to all the things is showing that one. That is the pure mercy of reflect of Vaishnava quality. What called Daya Bhava, the mercy. So devotional life included the care and respect for all the creations. So the service must be done without devotional mood, we will not succeed. With the mood of devotional, we will succeed on this one. By the pleasing of the robes and the devotee, Mahaprabhu demonstrated here the service the Lord should perform, the loving the devotees. So Bhakti Yoga, in the mood of devotion, the more important the spiritual strength. So devotion always the stronger. That's why the Lord empowers is the devotee, serve him. He's showing the verses. The devotee shows the compassion all the living beings. The Lord accepted is the service performed with love of devotions. So Supreme Lord is moved not by force of his power, but the loving service of his devotee. That's the one you can take. The lesson number 55. अपने राता रे पेचे तेले माता दिया आधा कारी राता चैला दया. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to back of the car and began to the push with his head. It was then that the car began to move, the roll along with the making the retailing the sound. So in the Ratha Yatra, Jagannath's leave the main temple goes to the Gundicha temple. So representative of that one like a Vṛndāvana. So Vṛndāvana. Lakshmi Devi becomes that one when the leaves from the Lord. So showing here. So Jagannath is going to Gundicha simply here the symbolically is mentioning the Krishna's returning to Vṛndāvan to meet the gopis. So this is the Srila Prabhupada very nicely explanation. We go to the text number 56. Bhakta gana kachi ate kari matra daya apna kaila rata tana hi na paya. Translation. Indeed, the car began to move automatically and the devotees simply carried the robes with their hands. Since it was the moving effortlessly, that did not need to pull it. So here the Lord is showing is the power, is the devotee of here. Simply they are touching the devotee, that rope. They are not putting any effort to pulling the Radha. Just Bhagavan, the backside of the Radha, he pushing his forehead in the moving that one. So Lord, how we give the merciful, the devotee. So how much we are doing the sincerely effort, the association of the Lord, do the service, whatever service we can take, by the Lord mercy, we will to get the mercy from the Lord. So now we go to the verses number 57. Ananta Kaira Loka Jaya 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 Davani Jaya Jagannath Boy Arona Sunni. When that translation, when the car moved forward, everyone being the chant, the great pleasure, all glories, and all glories to Lord Jagannath. No one could hear anything else. So this is the one showing the Lord the power. All glories, whatever your life, getting any problems, only the glories of the Lord, glorification of the Lord, praise the Lord, put on your praise the Lord. That's why the Bhagavan in the Bhagavad Gita is telling, Manmana Bhava Bhakto Matya Ma Namaskuru Mam Yes Evasyasya Vityata Atyanta Mat Prayachate. Engage your mind, always thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisance to me and worship to me, being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. This is the one. So we are always the Manmana Bhavabhakto, Madhya Jima Namaskuru. Always to do the thinking, Smaran, always the meditating the Lord, the chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Do our chanting what the regular principles given the Srila Prabhupada for us. We will be getting the meditating and our mood will come there. Now we go to the text number 58. Nimishata gala rata gundi kara divara chaitanya prata deke loka chamkara. Translation. In the movement of car reached in the door of Gundicha temple, upon seeing in the uncommon strength of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the people were struck and the wonder. Here we can take that in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th canto, 4th verses, 4th chapter, 63 verses. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, in the Brahmana is according to completely under the control of the devotees, my devotees. Indeed, I am not all the independent, because of my devotee are completely divided of the material desires. I sit only within the course of in their hearts. What to speak of my devotee? Even those who are devotees of my devotees were very dear to me. So this is the showing of the Bhagavan to our mercy, to the Lord mercy showing to the devotee. How much we are putting our service, how much we are putting our effort, how much we are putting on the service to the Lord. Definitely Lord will not leave us. We go to the next text of 59. Jaya Gaura Chandra, Jaya Krishna Chaitanya, Ye Mata Golo Hala, Loke Danya. The crowd made a tremendous vibration, the chanting Jaya Gaura Chandra, Jaya Gaura Chandra, Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Then the people began the chant wonderfully, wonderful. So when this crowd saw the wonderfully, the devotional activities that becomes the overwhelmed with the spiritual joy out of the deep devotion of the loudly chanted. Jaya Chandra Gaura, Jaya Chandra Gaura. What is the meaning of this one? Victory of Lord Gauranga, victory of Lord Gauranga. Another name of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, victory of Lord Gauranga. Jaya Chandra Gaura. Jaya Gaura Chandra is the victory of Lord Gauranga. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya, all glories to Krishna Chaitanya. So this is the power of collecting of the chanting. This is the power of chanting. This is the Sankirtan of movement. The main spiritual practice. It is the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showing is the devotee very nicely. The spiritual energies increases when the chanting, you do the chanting more enthusiastically. Your glorification of the Lord, what will get it? What we getting? The chant together always, that's Srila Prabhupada is telling. Chant together, chant together. What we are getting, the spiritual energies increases. Devotional emotion spread. Everyone at present. Every ordinary people also became a spiritual inspiration. The people naturally they feel joy. They express away from the wonder. The devotion awakens spontaneously. So the passage teach for us the devotion spread throughout the spiritual sound, spiritual vibration. The people sincerely chant together. The art become purified. The devotion awakens. The whole atmosphere becomes spiritual. This is why the crowd joyfully Jaya Gaura Chandra, Jaya Krishna Chaitanya. This is the mentioning. This is the power of the devotee of glorification of the Lord. Text number 60. Deka aya prataputra partha mitra sangha Parabura mana deke preme pule ange. Translation. The seeing the greatness of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prataputra, Maharaj, and his the ministers and friends, wherever so moved by the ecstatic love that hearing on their bodies stood on end. So that end it came. So in the verses showing the how this air coming the body stood at the end of this one because of the devotional philosophy. This called up the this what is telling the room what's the romancha it's calling that one you get the purified, you will get that one extreme the level. So here there is the extreme the symptoms, which is that one extreme the symptoms Srila Prabhupada mentioned spiritual ecstasy. They experience it when their art they deeply touched with the devotion. So here the tears coming from eyes whenever do the chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. It's come to the automatically to for our the eyes to come to the tears. It's because of trembling our nose, this thing our mouth. So the standing of the bodily head, choking the voice. This is the power of the chanting. So these are the described of the devotional literature Srila Prabhupada mentioning in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by the Rupa Goswami is showing that one. So symptoms of the naturally when do the chanting, it is not artificially, it is do the naturally you are chanting, the real devotion, the product will the visible, the spiritual symptoms will come to you. Association with the pure devotees awakens the love of Godhead. Even the powerful of people become humble. The true bhakti is coming. The spiritual ecstasy, it is the spreads from the everyone, the devotee, many others. So here the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the presence of the tremendous, the transformed this art of everyone, including the king of Prataputra. We go to the text number 61. Pando Vijayata Pe Kaira Sevaka Gana Jaga Mata Veila Gaya Jana Sini Asana. All the servants of the Lord Jagannath that took him down from the car and the Lord went to his seat, his own throne. So here the mentioning the deity, how the respect to the service of the deity. So the servant of the Sevakas, the Lord Jagannath carefully take it in the Lord down, the showing the proper etiquette for the devotion mood. The Srila Prabhupada is very nicely emphasizing here the service of the deity, it's the highest perfection, the highest devotional services. Even more than that the mundane service, whatever things is, leave it that one. That the physically act, the pleasing the Lord on the throne of the demonstrates of the devotee, the love of express it through the moral of the service of the seva. So here the divine presence of the deity, Srila Prabhupada stresses here, the Lord of the deity fully present. Therefore, we are treating as the deity with care, reverence, with the devotion as important the servings of Krishna personally. The Srila Prabhupada is mentioning very nicely here. See, this underlines of the concept of the Murti Tattva, the philosophy that the deity is not just for the statue. but the living embodiment of Krishna. So, integration of the ritual, the devotion, the Radha Yatra is the substitute, the placing the deity on the throne of the compassion of the bhakti. The Radha Yatra doing, it is showing the bhakti, the love and the devotion. That's why the Lord came from his own place out, showing his mercy to all the people, all living entity. So this is that it is not, it's the not in the formal rituals. So Srila Prabhupada oftenly the mentioning all the things that the devotional service, the rituals, the when the performed with the love, awaken of the art, the consciousness of the particularly you will get in that one. So here one more thing. Here the act of the Lord returning to through the symbols for you see the Krishna grace descending to the into the would bring the festivals. Because why we are the ISKCON doing a lot of festivals? Because of the Lord process. Lord, we are pleasing the Lord. We are emphasizing we are putting on the Lord in the happy mood. We are keeping that one. So here the continuously the presence of the temple, the devotees, the worship, the stability, the devotion of life. After the ecstatics of the celebrations, the Lord remains accessible and steady and daily worshipable person, that the devotees for us. So actually we are the devotees we can take it of the lesson. Even during the festival, ecstasy events, the proper care and discipline, the devotion of important, the love of Krishna, just now ecstasy of chanting, but also very careful. The regular to the service of the companionship of the ecstasy of the disciplines of lead, perfected of the bhakti. So here the main is Srila Prabhupada emphasizing here the service of the deity, highest devotional service, the deity of fully of the Krishna is the fully of the care and doing. So here the devotion should combine ecstasy with the discipline sections. So now the 62 verses. Subhatra Balarama Nija Saimasana Aila Jagannath Resana Boha Aha Tile Legila. Subhadra and Balaram also sat with their respective thrones. Therefore, they followed the bathing the Lord Jagannath, the finally offering the food. So here that the devotional is the respect of things that Srila Prabhupada mentioning all the deities, including the Subhadra and Balaram and the worship of the main festivities of the Krishna, the worship the deity with proper respect, showing the devotion and inclusivity of the systematically. So Jagannath is telling here they are showing the devotions, not in the partially. So here we are doing this abhishek and all the things as because of the spiritually cleanness. The bathing of the deity is that symbolizing the Srila Prabhupada mentioning spiritual purification. The abhishek means is the spiritual purification, not in the externally showing that one is mentioned. So devotees are performing the abhishek with love developed internally, purity and respect of the God. So we are always, after the Abhishekam all finish it, we are offering the prasadam. Why we are offering the prasadam? So is the main of that being our culmination of the devotional service. The prasadam, consider the mercy of the Lord. By offering the devotee, participate is the grace. For example, we are keeping the practice, the devotee, the cooking, offering the food, love and affection is to that, and after that we are eating the prasadam, purifies our body and mind, our heart. So Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here, the eating prasadam is not the merely eating, it is the receiving the mercy of Krishna. So it is the discipline, the love, whatever the disciplines of given to the prasadam, it is a love from the God. That is the one we are getting here, that Srila Prabhupada very nicely mentioning, because all the discipline, the devotions of the ensure proper of the cultivation of the love of Godhead. So here is the Srila Prabhupada telling the Radha Yatra daily temple worshipping the following the strict of schedule, the teaching the devotees order to love go to their bhakti. So Srila Prabhupada always the emphasis the mentioning very, very importantly the worship including the Jagannath, Balaram, Subhadra, doing the abhishekam, all the things, honoring the food, everything ultimately the mercy devotee receiving from the Krishna. So is there not in the formalities, not like this. It is do your cultivating of the love. So that's why we are whatever we are doing the spirituality, it's a fully of the here come to the our mind of devotion love of come to the Lord. Text 63. Ajinete Mahaprabhu Lana Bhakta Gana Ananta Arambha Kaila Naratana Kirtana. When this and while the Lord Jagannath, the Lord Balaram and Subhadra sat and their respective thrones, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the devotee, began to perform the Sankirtana with great pleasure, the chanting and dancing their yard of the temple. So here, the coming to our movement, main movement, what is that one? Sankirtana Yajna, Sankirtana movement. So the highest devotional activity, which is the one for the Sankirtana Yajna. So here Srila Prabhupada mentioning chanting the holy name of the Krishna collectively, the most powerful method of bhakti, the age of Kali. The age of Kali, only the chanting, the name of the Lord, Sankirtana. Even though the deity is the properly worshipped of all the things throughout, but Mahaprabhu showing here in the Sankirtana, supreme expression of the love. So ecstasy of the love and the pleasure of the devotion we are doing. So the devotees the performing the Sankirtana, great pleasure. That's why there's everywhere that our ISKCON temples they make the Sankirtana mala that they're keeping in the Kirtan always. So highlighting that one, the bhakti of full of love, joy. What is the meaning of is the prema bhakti, the small of the prema bhakti. Devotion not in the dry ritual. It is the joyful ecstasy spontaneously doing. That's why the Srila Mahaprabhu showing here. The devotees all are dancing and chanting in the front of the Radha Yatra, because simply the Mahaprabhu also demonstrated this one. So this is the main thing the Srila Prabhupada given this one. All this thing, this the together to complement of each other to do this the chanting, awakening of the Sankirtana movement, Sankirtana movement. When the Mahaprabhu devotee chant and dance the presence of in the presence of the princess in the front of the Lord, the feel ecstasy. That's why the Srila Prabhupada always emphasizing congregational chanting, spread the Krishna consciousness, every movement, every present, every spectacles. So that's why the Srila Prabhupada always encouraging the congregational chanting. So the congregational chanting means the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally participate in the chanting and the dancing. The Mahaprabhu point the list, all the should showing is the ecstasy devotion. This is the one Srila Prabhupada mentioning highest devotional service, which one in the Kali Yuga? Sankirtana Yajna. That's the one telling. Now the last verses, the text number 64. Ananta Mahaprabhu Prema Uttalala Deki Sabalope Prema Sagar Paisala. Translation. While the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was chanting and dancing, he was overwhelmed with the ecstasy love, and love all the people who saw him were also flooded in the ocean of love Godhead. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showing engage the chanting and dancing, the external expression of Bhava Bhakti, showing the Bhava Bhakti, the ecstasy of love. So the ecstasy of powerful of the effort, everyone around him observed, including the king, ministers, officers, ordinary people, all the people, entire the people, the ocean of getting the divine of love, the witnessing of the devotion, how to doing this one. So always used to come to the ecstasy love to the Baba. The Prabhupada always mentioning Mahaprabhu chanting and dancing where is full of internal ecstasy of love. The Baba is coming. It's not just for outward celebration. The spiritual emotion overflowing, not action. So always that one overflowing the plans of divine overflows coming from the pure of devotee, pure of their activities. It's coming. So the Srila Prabhupada explaining always the ecstasy of the pure devotee spread automatically to others. How? By the chanting. How the chanting. So Mahaprabhu showed here his love and Krishna was continuously, and anyone seeing him expressed in the spiritual ecstasy will come. So Srila Prabhupada here, if you are seeing here in the Prataputra, the Maharaja, his ministers become overwhelmed with love just for witnessing the Mahaprabhu dancing. That's why the chanting and dancing, not more performance and entertainment. In the Srila Prabhupada mentioning stress put the Sankirtana awakeness of the love of Godhead. That's why this year the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are the supremes of congregational chanting, Sankirtana Yajna in the Kali Yuga. So Srila Prabhupada always telling in the flooded of ocean of love of Godhead, that is the universe to universe, inclusive everywhere. So all the things as the Mahaprabhu lead, the personal example is given. His ecstasy of love itself become a teaching for us. The demonstration of the devotion inspiring the more than words alone. So it is showing to the bhava, ecstasy, love, visible the continuation, and pure devotee naturally inspiring the love of God at others, the kirtan dancing, the powerful spiritual practice. Love of God, the limitless, like of ocean, can be shared. The leading is of the devotion. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Bhaktanath, Mukunda Prabhu, Dandat Pranam. Your class is always full of energy.
Narayana, Hare Hare.
And the feeling is completely, you will deep dive into the topic. The lot of energy, ecstasy, you take the class. That is very nice. Because whatever pastimes you tell, you will go into the pastime. That's how your mood. Thank you so much for the nice class. I was on and off because some calls came in, but it was fantastic class. Devotees, any questions, comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Very nice class, Prabhuji. Excellent. Bhaktanath Prabhu. So really Bhaktanath Prabhu quality. Before class he started the obeisances to his Shiksha Guru. That is very nice. He took. And in his class many times he put the Srila Prabhupada, Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when Srila Prabhupada was telling, I am going to my Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, to check whatever I written, then he checking how many times he put Krishna, how many times Govinda, how many times this. Okay, then your literature is perfect. So in today lecture, many times Srila Prabhupada told like this, Srila Prabhupada told like this. Lord Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in Ramayana, full of ecstasy.
To give more authentic connection to the parampara. It's not me, it is Prabhupada is telling. So that is how the mood of Bhaktan Prabhu.
Very nice class, Rohit. Thank you, Rohit. Thank you.
Any questions, comments, other devotees before we conclude?
Thank you, Bhaktanath Prabhu, for accepting the class, and thank you very much. And the mood of the explaining was really pulling the heart, pulling the chariot into all our hearts. Really excellent, Prabhu. The parampara is going on. The mood of all the Siksha Gurus we can see in your style of preaching. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Jai Hari Bol.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, giving this opportunity to the Srila